Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre Vibes coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Feeling fantastic. Yesterday I published some pictures on Instagram and social media, and it was my new jumpsuit that I created for Boa Fashion for myself, because usually when I do something new, I have to check the sample first. But I want to say thank you to everybody. And people have actually asked if they can order them. Right now, I'm just checking how it's possible to do everything, because shipping outside of Japan, again, is incredibly difficult and expensive. So I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can and as soon as possible. Good morning. This morning, I want to talk about something kind of fun. Yesterday, I was talking to Apito. He is a capoeira zoador formado who is teaching in North Carolina. He's a Marine, somebody who's like a little brother to me, and congratulations to him and his beautiful wife, Mel, on their baby daughter. Can't wait to meet her, and I can't wait to sing some capoeira music for her. He had recommended a way for me to do a crowdfunding project or raise money, and he called it like a raffle. And I thought to myself yesterday, wow, what a great idea. And we could do a virtual raffle. We could, I could raffle off like a jumper, a gift set, so many different things that I could actually do. Then towards what I always tend to do is I talk to my wife and I give her the idea that I have. And she's really good at asking questions and, just saying, okay, what about this? What about this? And kind of contradicting almost everything I say, which is actually really good in these types of situations, because it makes me have a better plan, because she's critiquing everything I say, which is an amazing thing for me to have so that I can decide if I want to do it or not. And at the end of it, I just realized right now I am so focused on what I do that I don't want to take my time outside of what I'm doing and planning to do to, for example, if we did the raffle, I would have to start today, design the ticket, design the concept, start promoting, and then every day I would have to promote it to get people involved in it, and then do the electronic online raffle. And the truth of the matter is, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I decided not to do it because it's just outside of what I'm doing. Right now, I am focused on 3 parts of my life, and they started construction, so bear with me. 3 parts of my life. One is my professional. 2 parts of my life: my professional and my personal. My professional. One part is the development of my students and Capoeira Academy, and that is everything I do within the 16 classes that I teach every week. On Mondays, we're closed, but I end up doing a lot of outside work. So like all the computer work, emails, and everything that I need to do outside of it. So I teach 3 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's 6. I teach 2.5 hours on Fridays and Wednesdays, which is going to be 5 hours. So we're at 11 hours. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, I teach the same, which is babies, kids, and adults. That's 3.5 hours. So that's about, 3.5 to 6, 7. So 7 plus 11, 18. I teach 18 hours of class a week, and that doesn't include cleaning, prep, and everything else I do. So I have to be very, very disciplined and very focused not to be led away by butterflies on my steadfast course of what I see my job doing as a capoeira mestre. The other time that outside of that, I'm trying to create everything. So the first part is what I do for the Capoeira Academy. So all the teaching, the maintaining here and everything I do, the cleaning and everything, making calzas for my students, everything else. Then outside of that, I'm focused only on, right now, Patreon. And again, as I always say, Patreon is because it directly supports me to do what I do. I don't need to do anything else, just create. And that's exactly where I want to be in my life right now. So if I have to start doing a raffle or other things, I can't focus on what I do well. I'm not saying I won't do a raffle when we have events here or whatnot, but it's a big thing to do an international raffle and be able to do things that I can affect more people outside at this point. Next year, I am focused on several projects that I want to do. One is I would really like to be able to do more here in my community. For example, Capoeira Zoador Academy is a fantastic space. My wife and I have organized a Christmas bazaar on December 2nd, and it'll be from 11 to 4. Then we'll have a capoeira roda and then some relaxed time. During that Christmas bazaar, my beautiful wife has organized some of her friends. There'll be like tarot reading, fortune telling, glass blowing workshop. I don't want to say glass blowing workshop, but some kind of glass workshop, jewelry workshop, makeup workshop. So it's very organized for a lot of the moms. And the reason is because I think a lot of the moms want to have more access to more social and fun things. And I feel when I say capoeira community, it's not about just my students, but about the families around them and the friends. And as a part of that, I'm moving forward with doing the best I can for my community. Also, I'll be having the Boa Fashion heat transfers section. My son will come out and do that. And then I'll be making Christmas sangria for everybody. So if anyone's interested, come on down for that. So I want to do a lot more community events. Kids Capoeira tournament. Next year, I definitely want to do a Brazilian barbecue during the summer. I want to do a spring Matsuri. Matsuri is a festival like we did last year for the kids where they come in and they do. And from now on, I'm going to be focused on turning a little bit of a profit on all of these events, because as I run this like an NPO, I need to be focused on what's my budget. I need to make my budget. And if I can make anything above that, well, fantastic. But I got to make my budget. I've been invited to go to 2 places in Germany, maybe 2 places in England next year, and I'd like to go and record. In order to do that, there's fees associated with my time, production, paying for Mestre Vibes to be able to teach here while I'm gone, and travel. Of course, when I travel and do things, I can make a little bit extra money, but I'm too old to be focused on if I can, if I can't. And what I'd rather do is, for example, have a pre-sign up, and if there's any like people who sign up early to help with the costs next year, for example, then I'll include a t-shirt from here, like something really cool from Japan. I'd rather do things that make people happy and that I can have fun doing versus being in limbo. What's limbo? Limbo just, floating. Is there going to be enough students? Is there going to be enough people at the workshop? Are enough people interested? Because a lot of times when it comes to capoeira, when you want to charge for something, it's sometimes very difficult because people don't want to pay for things these days. I feel like intangible things like capoeira, people don't want to pay because they feel they can get everything they want free on the internet. And I feel that I've worked hard enough and created enough trust in the community that I can do what I do, and people can either be a part of it, or if they choose not to, then they can choose what they want. But I want to do what I need to get done, like recording and whatnot. So one idea is to go to Europe. Another idea is to go to the United States, where I've got a lot of connections also. And of course, traveling to the United States, I can visit my daughter and my family and do everything I need to do. But again, there's costs with everything. I would love to be able to travel to the United States and do a 3-4 city tour, come back and not be stressed about going. So that's why I'm focusing only on the Patreon. Of course, there's a lot I want to do here in Asia. And unfortunately, like when I traveled to Thailand, a lot of Mestre Cobrinha students, a lot of them couldn't afford my workshop. So he ends up doing a lot and supporting a lot, but I'd like to be able to have carte blanche. I'd like to be able next year to really be like an artist supported so that I can just do everything I want to, create everything I want to, record, video, produce, music, sing, shows, lives, everything, community events, and already have the budget to do it all, already have the budget for my time, for my energy. So I'm really focusing on getting all that kind of stuff done. In order to accomplish everything that I want to do, I have to be very focused on not running around like a chicken with my head cut off and, focused on what I'm doing. So from here on out, I'm focused 100% on my academia, 100% on my Patreon. The other part of my life is also incredibly important, which is just family, friends, and the people I love. And because of that, I want to be able to always have time for people. And like I mentioned last podcast, the opportunity to be able to mentor, to be doing requests. When I think my greatest skill right now, my two greatest skills right now that I want to share with you guys that I have faith will get me to my goal are two things that I'm always told. Well, one is I'm always complimented on, which always also makes me like, wow, really? I didn't think that, and the other is something that I'm very aware of, and I know it's very important. This is something that my entrepreneurial theory teacher said, and I'm gonna go over these two, and I hope that you can process these two aspects of being a master of capoeira or a person on your road to reaching your full potential and your full growth as a capoeira instructor or whatever it is that you do in your life. The first is, in my line of work, it's an intangible product. And I've said this before, intangible means you don't really touch capoeira. You can't really, you're paying, or customers are paying for a feeling that they get. When students come here and they feel they're improving, then that's what I get paid for. Whether they improve or not, if they feel it, then I'm getting it. When I create an event, if they feel the music's good, if the atmosphere is good, and they're paying the door charge, then that's what they're paying for. It's different than if they're paying for like a drink or some food or some snacks or whatever. It's something that they're paying for and that they feel that has value to what they do, or they're getting value for what they're paying. But as an intangible, something you cannot touch, such as capoeira, a feeling, I really get a lot of compliments on this, which is like very humbling, that I am very, very good. A lot of people say I am the best person they've ever seen who is good at maintaining relationships. When Mestre Linguiça was in Dubai about 5-6 years ago working, he said I was the only one who regularly called, who regularly video phoned, I have a lot of friends who say I'm the one who regularly contacts. I send out a lot of funny TikToks to my friends and constantly, maintaining relationships. And most of the time, I would say 80% don't respond. So the 20 that respond, thank you so much, because it is a skill, but also, it's nice to get response. So thank you very much for always responding, especially the people. A lot of them are here on Patreon. So it's an important skill because you have to maintain relationships, not only with the people, but people who are going to support you. So like I said, I'm doing this Patreon push till the end of the year to get to my goal, and I'm going to keep going till the end of the year. After that, I'll set my goal. And I'm actually thinking for the next 2 weeks, I'll push a lot, because after that it gets really busy and I need to do things and I need to get things done artistically and creatively. So the first skill, is that I really need to have a good skill at maintaining relationships. The second skill that I think a lot, and it's very important, is that I'm humble, or I try to be humble enough to know when I don't know. And it's hard because a lot of times when you're doing things, you've got to be able to set your goals and to figure out ways to get there. So like when I ask my wife, or when I bounce ideas off of her, and I realize that's not going to be a good idea for my time. As I'm doing this, I realize that like it takes a lot of energy, time, and work and resources to do anything that I do as an artist. So being able to understand what I can and can't do, or what's possible and not possible, is something I think is very important. You should not do what you want. You should do what you can possibly accomplish. And a lot of people feel like they can do almost anything. Well, I feel that too, but realistically, there's only 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. So what I can do is what I'm capable of. But next year, I really plan to do a lot. And like several people have said, I'm always producing, I'm always doing. But then again, I keep telling you guys, I'm a professional capoeira master. This is what I do. My job is to constantly be producing. I can't call myself an artist and never do anything. I can't call myself a writer and not have written two books. I can't call myself an educator while having gotten higher education so that I can pass on what I know and what I've learned. So it is a process, but I have to understand what I'm capable of and not capable of. So for all you guys here, stand back. If you guys, okay, again, a couple of people have again asked me, can they increase their donation or their support on Patreon? Guys, if you're doing $3, jump to $5. It would really help. If you're doing $5 and you want to jump to $10, and if you're doing $10, of course, to $25. Guys, $25, if you're in Tokyo and you feel like, okay, that's really a good deal, you can always jump up to $50. Again, we have one at $50. If I had, 20 more people at $50, that would double a lot, and I could get a lot more done. You guys have a fantastic day. Lots of love, lots of peace, lots of capoeira. Mestre Sukuri, Mestre Vibes, Tokyo, Japan.